Now we're going to look at cutting out tangram from MDF. So we've taken our piece of MDF here and we've used a glue stick to securely stick a template onto here, onto the piece of MDF, and then just carefully sand it around the edges and also check that it fits in our tray. So there's our tangram. Now we're going to try and cut along these lines to cut out these pieces, and it's important to cut in a certain order. So to help us, we're also going to use this piece of equipment here. This is called a jig. A jig is something that allows us to do a task over and over again very accurately. So with the jig, we're going to use a tenon saw here, and we've got some cuts here, and these cuts here will line up with our lines that we've drawn on our tangram. So we're putting our tangram piece of wood into here, into our jig. We're going to use the tenon saw, and the tenon saw fits into the slot, into the slots of the jig, and we just very carefully move the saw backwards and forwards. And cut into tangram. The next one, I'm going to use the second slot, and again now I haven't cut all the way through here. I'm actually going to take it out of the jig, and you can see the paper's torn slightly, but you can see that I've made the two cuts there, and I've made those accurately because the jig has helped us make those accurately. Now to finish it off, I'm going to put it into the bench hook into the vise, taking the jig out, and I'm going to cut my pieces of MDF. Now I've got a cut there that I've done using the jig, so it shouldn't be any problem to just cut one piece. This is a slightly more difficult cut. And we've done that. And then we've made these cuts, but we've still got some more cuts to do. Now these ones you should be able to do using the bench hook. We put a piece there, there's our line that we've got to cut. Put the tenon saw on the line. If you like to, just steady it with your finger. You should be okay, you shouldn't cut your finger. And move the saw backwards and forwards. Once you've got to cut the whole length of the line, it becomes much easier. And so now we've got most of the parts of our tangram. Obviously we're going to have to sand these, make them a nice finish, and the last piece here is simply 1, 2, 3 cuts, and I say again we can use the bench hook here and cut those pieces out.